There's a rumor going around about XRP unlocking 1 billion tokens and causing the market to get fearful. I've seen more and more posts about this. I want to break down what someone at Ripple just said about this, whether this is legitimate or not, whether this is cause for concern. Is this the reason that the market is slowing down, or XRP price is slowing down right after their big win against the SEC? We'll go through it. We'll also look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin's breaking out. We just saw new tariffs set in place by President Trump, and it's kind of interesting. It affects Bitcoin in a way. It's kind of interesting what's happening. I also want to update you on a trade that I made on Bitcoin, along with a crypto that I bought that's smaller. If you don't mind, hit subscribe so you can see future videos just like this if you want to trade crypto. Check out the link to BYDeFi underneath the video. A lot of people have been loving this platform, and we have this special giveaway going right now. Right now, every $1 million that's traded, it increases the prize pool by $100. So as more people trade, there's more access to get more money for free. And we're doing some of the biggest volume, get some of the biggest rewards, and then there are going to be some random prizes too. We're also throwing in some Samsung earbuds as well. So check this out underneath the video. We constantly run these. It's not like a new user thing. We run them all the time, so you can get free money just for trading on the platform consistently. Now, Bitcoin is breaking to new recent highs, new local highs. We almost hit $120,000 Bitcoin. So many people were bearish at 112. That's when I told you that I was actually longing the market. I was actually bullish because what we've seen in the past is flipping the previous resistance into support. And what do you know? We saw that. We flipped exactly 112,000 into support, and now we moved up. We went above this line, then came back down and flipped it into support, now making a new move up. Be going through why this could possibly be. Right now, Bitcoin dominance moving up slightly throughout the day. We have had some altcoins run over the weekend. For example, Ethereum making a big move, went all the way up to $4,330, looking quite bullish and actually staying well above that $4,000 resistance, even the $4,100 resistance. We barely seen any weakness after breaking to new highs. I would not want to be a BMNR shorter tomorrow. This is Tom Lee's company. It's probably going to go parabolic once again. Keep in mind, it is up from $4.26, up about 10x. So they've been crushing it over there. Of course, we do have the Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs opening tomorrow. We'll probably see some FOMO. We're seeing some liquidations right now. Over the last 12 hours, we've seen 67 mil of shorts get liquidated and 38 million of longs get liquidated. I do have an update, like I said, on my Bitcoin trade, which we'll talk about later. But first, I want to address this. I've been seeing so many people bring up this. Ripple releases 1 billion XRP from escrow. Ripple executed a scheduled escrow unlock on August 9, releasing 1 billion XRP tokens valued at 3.28 billion into circulation. The release involves 3 transactions: 500 million XRP to an unknown wallet, 100 million XRP to Ripple, and 400 million XRP to the company. As part of a 2017 protocol designed to stabilize market supply, this event occurred amid a bullish market for XRP following the company's recent legal victory versus the SEC. So many Bitcoiners posting about this, and this is true. This is a real thing. The XRP Ripple continues to get released. XRP gets released every single month. This was to help stabilize the market. I'm not really sure it's needed anymore, but this has sparked some fear amongst like maybe newer investors. I'm sure a lot of the people that have been in XRP for a while understand what this is, and that this is actually a monthly thing. You can see here, these tokens were previously held on escrow as part of a 2017 protocol designed to stabilize market supply. The transactions turned heads amid speculation that it would precede a sell-off. They want you to buy XRP before they sell it, says CFA Rajat Soni. So, Ripple's CTO, David Schwartz, moved to clarify the FUD, ascribing the escrow release to a routing activity. They always release on the first of the month. You may not necessarily see any ledger activity just because the escrow was released, though. The ledger doesn't do anything by itself. It always waits for someone to submit a transaction to trigger it. Community members indicate that Ripple escrow accounts have randomly released several contracts in the last 2 months. Notwithstanding, Ripple's escrow system is a long-withstanding subject for debate, with the firm holding a significant amount of XRP. Data on XRP scan shows approximately 35.6 billion XRP held in escrow after the August 9 release. So, this is interesting. Obviously, this has been something that a lot of people have known for a long time. I've known that Ripple has a lot of tokens and releases tokens over time. This is how they've been able to fund like their XRP case. That in mind, though, the token's still doing well. Right? If you're looking at it and you're sad that it's not breaking out to new all-time highs, you have to zoom out. Like, you zoom out on the 1 day, and this was just at $1.91 a month and a half ago. Now it's up at $3.20. It's one of the best performers. And one of the things about this, they obviously have a big war chest, right, of not just XRP, but they've also, I'm sure, sold or taken some profits over time, and they have cash. How do you think they paid for lawyers, right? They're not paying them in XRP. So that means that they probably can buy back their own token if they see value in that, right? To pump the price or whatever else. So they have obviously, or XRP has had a massive run recently. And I think this is something you have to pay attention to. This is one of the reasons I like Bitcoin is you can tell what the supply is going to be far, far in advance. And there isn't any kind of manipulation. There isn't some kind of governing entity to Bitcoin. I mean, there are devs and miners and stuff like that, but it's not quite the same. And I'm not ragging on XRP by any means. I'm just saying this is one of the benefits of having something so decentralized like Bitcoin. Bitcoin is in a different class for decentralization and for the supply compared to everything else. But I'm not sure why this is being brought up right now because this is normal for XRP and for Ripple investors. I don't think this is really causing a bunch of selling pressure, except for people seeing this and getting fearful and maybe selling some of their tokens right now. But in general, it seems like altcoins are picking up momentum. So, I'm not too worried about this. I do have some XRP long positions in right now, and I haven't been selling or closing them by any means. This is interesting. NVIDIA and AMD have reportedly agreed to share 15% of revenues on H20 chips, chip sales in China. And they're doing this with the US. Honestly, I don't really like this. I'm sure they're not doing this out of the goodness of their heart. I'm sure that they were kind of like strong-armed into this. 15% of revenue sales. I don't know. I don't like the government making specific deals with companies. At least I don't know. I feel like this isn't a good precedent to set that there can be some of the greatest companies in the U.S. being strong-armed into paying extra, right? Of course, there are tariffs and various things already. So, maybe it's just rolled into one. Maybe I'm not the best person to speak on this, but I don't know. Something feels wrong about this to me. You know what you can't tariff, though? Bitcoin, or what's not being tariffed. Of course, they talked about gold being tariffed last week, and that caused gold's price to spike up momentarily. But yeah, Bitcoin is not being tariffed at all. So let me know your thoughts on this underneath the video. Kind of interesting to see everything that's going on, the world changing so quickly. One crypto that I have been trading for a very long time, Bitcoin. I actually just made a long position, like I said, around 100. It was actually a little bit before the bottom. I didn't want to get too greedy, so it was right around here, $113,750. I took profits on it today. It was up 100%. I actually talked about maybe waiting longer until we got to this overbought region, but I talked about in the Patreon, I rolled this into a 3x long position. So my liquidation price is so much lower. The fees are going to be lower over time. And I still have a long position. And I rolled that 100% gain into it too. So I went from a $1,500 position to a $3,000 position. And yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Also, this is one crypto that I bought recently. I'll talk much more about this throughout the week. But Inspect, be on the lookout for this one. It's been making a big move over the last 2 or 3 days. You can see going from like 0.02 cents to now almost double, 100% gain in just a few days. And it's still a very small market cap. Pretty interesting. I'll talk more about this, but I would check this out now while you can. Like I said, I'll be talking about it probably more tomorrow. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. Of course, do your own research, right? I am a holder of Inspect, right? I have bought the token recently. Of course, I have held it for over a year, but do your own research, right? I'm not here to tell you what to do. If you want to check out BYDeFi, we have that special trading event going on right now. I appreciate you all for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.